So, in honor of the Christmas spirit, today we are making a Christmas themed mandala. I'm going to be using the very generic yet amazing stylus tools. You can get these on Amazon, you can get these in stores, you can get these absolutely everywhere. And then I'm also going to be using the XDT brushes. These are my favorite. If you want to see how I made these guide marks, you can go check out my previous video where I walk you through how to make them. And right now, we are going to mix up some colors. I also have these tools, and I think I got these at Michael's. I will link all of the tools and descriptions in the box below. The kind of paint I'm using is I use Deco Art Americana, excuse me. This one is gloss enamels, but I use all kinds of different finishes. All right, so we're gonna pour our paint. So the first color I'm using is Tuscan Red. Oh, it's so much. Shake your paints well, guys. Then I'm gonna use Santa Red. Then we're going to be using Holly Green. That's a really pretty green. Then we're gonna go into Festive Green. We are gonna put some white. And we're gonna hit it with some Splendid Gold. I also have on hand some white pearl. We're gonna make the white pop out a bit. And then I also have little puffy paints. I like to use, in the small bottles, I like to use scribbles. They're cheap and they actually have like a really amazing texture. But use whatever you have. I also have the large puffy paints. These are fabric paint, but to be honest, they work quite well, so I use them all the time. All right. We're gonna start, actually, we're gonna start with some white puffy paint. A lot of tutorials will show you a center dot and then we're gonna do dots. An easier version of this, something that I've found is, sometimes I like different designs on the center, so I don't always use center dots. So I'm going to be making kind of like a flower in the middle. The one tool I will use that I found on Etsy by Devon.co is this tool, and this tool is like micro at the end, so it's a little bit easier to use. So instead of doing one big dot and then a lot of dots around it, for this specific design, I'm just gonna switch it up a bit. So I'm gonna add, we're gonna make it kind of like petals on a flower. And then we're gonna use our swooshing tool. We're gonna come down. We want this to look a little bit like a snowflake. We are going to like adjust them as well. Fabric paint is notoriously thick. Just be patient. And then we're going to do this all the way around. All right, gorgeous. We are going to take a gold paint. You can use the gold in our color palette. I'm going to be using the Scribbles gold paint, and we're just going to fill in that center there. I'm going to take this and I just want to swirl this around. This has a really pretty effect when it's kind of like swirled. Gorgeous. We're going to take that. We're going to take this gold paint now. And our the small side of the pink tool. And we're just going to dot in between. Okay. Next, we're going to go into our first red. So this kind of like shimmery red. And I'm going to be using this clear tool. This comes in the pack with these ones, and I will link it below on Amazon. And we're just gonna do, oh, that's too big. I'm gonna go just down a size. So again, these all come in the same pack, and I'll link it on Amazon. I'll link it on Amazon. I will link the tools that I got, and they are from Amazon. And then we're just gonna do a row of dots. All right, so when we get to this point where we need to connect, we're gonna space out. So I'm gonna clean off my tool and I'm gonna see how to fit this. So 2 is gonna be too big, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this last one I made bigger. And then I'm just gonna put one in the middle. It does look a bit spacey now, but we're gonna fill this in as we go. We're gonna do one more line of dots, and I'm gonna use the darker green for this. I'm gonna try it with the same tool. We might have to go up half a size, but we should be all right. So I'm gonna go in between these dots, and we wanna get as close to these dots as we can without touching them. All right, I'm actually gonna remove the first one that I put on there. It's a little too big. So I just take a Q-tip or a cotton swab with water. You can use alcohol, you can use acetone. Water is just the easiest for me to use. I suggest keeping these on hand whenever you're painting anything, really. These are just super beneficial, they're super helpful. Okay, great. Gonna let that dry a bit. And then we're gonna go back in here. Okay, cool. Then we're gonna go in with that gold color again, and we're gonna round this out. All right, we got that. We're now gonna go in with our white, and we're gonna use the purple flat tool. And we're going to skip every guide mark. So we're gonna skip one. Okay. From here, we're gonna add some dots. So we are gonna do light green, light red, dark red. So we're gonna go into that green. I'm gonna use the small end of the pink stylus. When you guys are first doing this, put paint on there. Don't just like a little dip and then go. Make sure it's got good enough paint. And what I like to do when I do these is I like to go slightly above, and then from there, I will round out the design. I like to have that kind of teardrop shape when I do this. So slightly above, maybe like right under that line there. Okay, great. I was thinking that I wanted to do both green and then both red, but now that I'm looking at it, I kind of like the way it looks with the alternating red and green. I think that gives a little bit better of a Christmas vibe. So I'm gonna do that light green that I just did, light red, and then dark green, dark red. I think that'll look a little bit better. So same thing, I always go slightly up above, and then I tap out. All right, then we're gonna go to that darker green. What was this? Holly green, I think. And I'm gonna go up a size. So let me see. I think I might do, I think the yellow tool is the same on both ends. So I'm gonna use the yellow tool. And obviously you can use either end because they're the same size. All right. And then the last walking the dots we're going to do in this section is that deep red. For this, I'm going to be using, I have two blue tools. The large end of the blue tool. So this red is going to look a little different because this red is glossy. And I think in this situation it actually really works. So now what I'm going to do is that last big dot there. I'm going to walk it down. And I still want to have a good amount of space because we're going to do some brush strokes. All right, cool. Okay, so from here, I'm going to take the XDT brush in the 0 size brush. And we're going to take this gold color and we're going to do some swooshes. Now, I'm just going to try out some stuff really quick. I think this might be too big of an area. So what I'm gonna do, sorry, just thinking it out a bit. I did. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna take this white pearl paint. I'm gonna put it over there. So I'm gonna take, I think I'm gonna do gold actually. We used a lot of white. Well, yeah, I'm gonna do gold. I'm gonna do gold and I'm gonna take the large end of the blue stylus tool. And I'm gonna do a dot on either side. And then a dot right above. All right, then with our brush, we're gonna dip it in gold And we're just going to come down the sides and kind of give it a rounded shape. When it comes to brush strokes can be really scary. My advice is to just go for it. Then we're going to dip into that white pearl that we had made earlier. And then we're just going to do some swooshes up. These swooshes might not hit this top point. We just want to fill in this little spot here. And so you're going to push down and then ride all the way up. And we're just going for that point right above that dot there. So we want these to get as close as they possibly can, but not touching. All right, beautiful. That white, I think, works so perfectly. It's like this perfect, excuse me, perfect frosty color. I love that. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our scribbles paint, and I'm going to go right where, so I'm looking at right where this one end is where I'm going to start this, because we're going to add lots of dots and it's going to kind of build up from there. So do I want to do that? Actually, I think I'm going to go one above. So where this ends, I'm going to go one above, but on this line. So just push, oops. And you can use a stylus tool for this. I tend to use this like micro tool. But use what you have. I'll show you what it looks like with the stylus tool. Do a couple, let me go here. So if you just take the stylus tool, stir it around, and then push down. Actually, I like that silhouette better. I think I might keep that. If you realize your tool is getting too close to the paint, wipe it off. That is like a recipe for disaster. Okay. Then we're gonna go in with this, the lighter red, and I'm gonna be using the yellow tool. And we're gonna do a dot again, slightly above, and then we're gonna make a kind of diamond shape with it. Oh my god. Okay, lovely. Now I'm going to take the light green tool and that same number 0 brush. Let me wet it a bit. And we're going to start at the top. So we're going to start right where that red dot ends. And we're going to go all the way around that silhouette. We're going to kind of make like a teardrop shape. So same thing, go all the way around. If you are struggling with brush strokes, something that I recommend is not holding your brush too close to the tip. So sometimes when you're too close, you have too much force and you push down and it kind of spreads everywhere. And I know it feels like you have more control, but when it comes to brushes, you do want to space yourself back a little bit. You want to be able to have like a flowing pattern, and that's going to help you have symmetrical brush strokes, and it's going to help you not have like these stop and go lines. That being said, you're bound to make a mistake at some point, so just embrace them. And so push and then drag. Because this is being made with human hands, you have to remember that it's not going to look like a machine. I have seen some amazing artists make these look machine made, which that is like so incredible, but they're inevitable. So when it comes to brush strokes, just let the brush do the work. Don't be super forceful. Don't push down super much. Get a lot of paint on your brush. That's going to help you from pushing. So if you don't have enough paint on your brush, it's going to look streaky, and then you're going to have to push harder to get that paint on. So make sure your brush is loaded up with paint. You're not holding it too close to the brush. And you're just letting the brush do the work. Don't overthink it. Voila! From here, I really want to add like a little glitter thing, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna go with this metallic-y puffy paint, and I'm just in the middle of this line here. So I'm going in between these two lines. I'm gonna add the tiniest little dot, if I can get it up. Just like that. From there, we're gonna make it look like a little sparkle. Oh, clean your tools, because I am really bad. So we're just gonna push it down. Yay! This little like sparkle thing is probably one of my favorite things to do. I feel like it adds this like twinkle, you know what I mean? Red, excuse me. Where's my brush? There we go. And then we're gonna start above our little twinkle there. We're gonna follow the same silhouette. We're just gonna start at a different point. So we're gonna push down and swoosh out. So we're gonna push down, and then the same silhouette. All right, so the next color I think I'm gonna do, because this one is white, we don't want to end on white. We want to end on green or red, or even, there's gold. So we probably want to end on this light green. So, let me see. So I did this one. So I did 1, 2, 3. All right. So now I'm going to hit it with some white. Oh, no. Gold, white, gold. I'm going to hit it with some regular white. Actually, I'm going to wait. I think I can end it with that white. Okay. So I did this one. I did this one. All right. So this. I'm going to go in with this dark green. Hold on, guys. No, I'm going to hit it with some gold. Welcome to the indecisive mind of Becky. And then we're going to go down a guide mark and then follow that same pattern. Okay. I'm going to go in, excuse me, with this dark green. Sorry, guys. I got bronchitis and I'm just now getting over it. Same thing. We're going to go down a guide mark. Beautiful. I'm going to do just 2 more colors here. So I'm going to do the lighter red because we have space for about 2 more guide marks. So I'm going to do the lighter red and I'm going to go again just right below. Okay. And then the last color we're going to hit it with is this titanium white. I think it'll be a pretty decent contrast from like the shimmery glittery one. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to come up slightly and swivel down. So maybe here. Let's try that. I might need a bigger brush. So I'm going to do right above that red. I'm going to get a bigger sized brush. Okay, so I'm at a size 0, so I might go for a size 1 or 2. Let's try 1. Oh yeah. Okay, cool. I'm gonna take my gold here. And I'm just gonna do, let me straighten that out. That's gonna bother me. All right. So I'm just gonna do one swooshing dot. All right, beautiful. Excuse me. All right. So now we're going to fill in this little, oops. We're gonna fill in this little 2-line sequence thing. So I'm thinking, I'm gonna take this, what is this called again? White pearl. White pearl, and I'm gonna do, okay, let me think. I'm gonna take the big end of the green stylus, and I'm gonna go in the middle here, and then I'm gonna walk the dots out. Let me go this way. All right, we're making headway. Okay, hold on one second. All right, so now I'm going to just fill in some of that space. When you guys are doing mandalas, fill in the space how you feel the space should be filled. Does that make sense? Make it work for you. So what I want to do, what I really like is, there are two spots that I'm going to fill. I'm going to wait for this one to dry. I'm going to fill this part in with a brush stroke, and I'm going to use that light green paint. And then when this dries, I'm going to come back and I'm going to add another one here. But on this, we're going to be starting like at the top, and we're going to give it like a kind of curve. It will naturally curve because we're working on a circle, but you get what I mean. So we're going to get really, really close, push. Cool. I like this. This is coming out better than I thought it would. All right. So I'm looking at this space and I want to fill it with one more design that I have in my head. I think it'll fit. Excuse me. Yeah, okay. So the last design we're going to do here is we are going to do, I don't even know how to describe this design, so I won't. But I'm going to take, I think I'm going to take this, let's see, what did we do here? I'm going to take this light green, no, I use light green a lot. I'm going to use the light red. The light red, and I'm going to hit it with, excuse me, is this too small? I think I'm going to hit it with purple. Yes. So I'm going to take the purple, what would you call that? Straight tool. We're going to do 4 dots. And then we're going to do every single guide mark. All right, gorgeous. I'm going to take, now I'm going to take the dark green, and we're going to kind of repeat this pattern here. So I'm going to take the large end of the blue tool. We're going to add 2 dots right over. All right, and then I'm going to take our zero brush. And we're going to do our swooshes. So we're going to push down. We're just going to follow the silhouette. So we're kind of making like a curved diamond shape. Okay, cool. I'm gonna do a up swoosh with this white pearl. I'm just gonna add some water to it because it's getting a little dry. So we just wanna smooth it out a bit. There we go. And I already know I don't trust myself, so I'm gonna bring this over here so that I don't smudge our painting. So I'm gonna go the reverse now. So I'm gonna push down and round it out. And we're just gonna go to right above where those dots stop. To be really honest with you, a lot of people struggle with brush strokes, but they're the thing that came easiest to me. And so I struggle with dots sometimes. I'm sure that there's messy dots somewhere, but when it comes to brush strokes, I really just do it very naturally. I think just my natural rhythm is really good for brush strokes. I love this white. Oh my god. I know that it's easier, but in this situation it really works. Okay, so my phone cut off and I wasn't able to film this one little spot, but what I did was I took the same zero brush and the dark red tool and I started from the top and I just pushed down and around. And I did that all the way around. All right, and then we're gonna continue. I'm gonna use the light green. So it looks like we have like space for maybe 2 more here. So we're gonna take that light green and we're gonna go down to right above that guide mark. And we're just gonna round it out. All right, nice. And then the last brush stroke we're gonna do here is gold. So we're gonna go, now we're gonna go right below that brush stroke right there. We wanna do our best to get close, but still have a little bit of separation there. If it's totally okay. Everyone, this is a pretty busy painting, so don't worry too much about it. Just try your best. All right, cool. I'm going to add, we're gonna do white swooshes. So white little teardrops. We're gonna do one big one and then two on either side. And then you can use a stylus or you can use like a point tool. I'm just gonna drag them in. All right, I'm gonna, excuse me, I'm gonna end it with some bright red swooshes here. So I'm just gonna push and drag. All right, gorgeous. We are just gonna finish it up with some final touches. So I'm gonna add, let me show you. So I have this red paint and it's in like a dropper. I got this, I'm gonna show you guys how I make it. So I buy acrylic paint, a little bit of like a thicker consistency, and then I bought this at Hobby Lobby. You can get these anywhere. And then I bought this at Hobby Lobby too. I got 3 for like $1.50 or something, and I just put the acrylic paint into the container, and then I have my own like puffy paints. This is something I really recommend for everyone who kind of wants to have, you know, their colors available, because sometimes like the expensive brands of paint, sometimes they won't make the colors that I really want and I really need. So I'll just end up buying like the acrylic paint and making my own kind of pointers, and it works really well. You just don't want, for this specifically, you do not want anything that is fluid. You want the acrylic paint to have some kind of excuse me, some kind of shape to it. So what I'm gonna do is I really want to use this pearly thing to go over the green. So I'm just gonna pour it in my bottle. These are so cheap, I'm probably gonna end up buying like a million of these. The expensive part actually are these paints, but you have to think about how much Nuvo drops are and how much, you know, puffy paint is and stuff. And no shade to Nuvo, they're an amazing company. Their paints are beautiful and I love them, but sometimes they're just a little bit too expensive. All right, so now I'm just gonna add my final dots all around. Okay, great. And then white, I'm gonna add our puffy paint. great. And then the red, I'm going to do the red in the middle of these 4 dots. It's going to kind of look like an eyeball in a way. If you don't have this, guys, use whatever you have. I'm a firm believer of, you know, you don't need expensive equipment. You don't need, you know, you can get all of this stuff. It's available. Use what you have. Get creative. Use whatever colors you like. If you like the design but you don't like the colors, you know, make your own colors. If you like the colors but not the design, make your own design. Stuff like that. Use this as a template to create your own. Okay, the last spot I'm gonna fill up is this part here, and I'm just gonna do 2 dots. So 1 big one, 1 small one. I'm just gonna add 1 dot here in the middle. All right, guys. And there you have it. I'm gonna take my light off. There we go. It's really shimmery and shiny. Oh, I really think it came out really well. And there you have it, guys. Our Christmas themed mandala. I'll probably do more just to get into the Christmas spirit. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you repeat this pattern. Show me what you made. Get creative. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.